Hello again, my dear Facebook friends. I will do some reading today again from John's Gospel, and this time chapter 9. This is the authentic report we have from Jesus' beloved disciple, and it is about the healing of the man born blind. So if you are carefully listening, you see that Jesus has done several miracles already in John's Gospel, and now we hear that he met the person who was born blind, and then when the disciples saw him, they asked the question, isn't this because this man sinned? Said Jesus, no, it's not his parents have sinned or he has sinned, but it happened so that God's work could be shown in his life. So let's see what Jesus did. Again, he talks about him being the light of the world. If somebody is blind, he cannot see, then everything is dark. If the eyes are opened by Jesus, then he can see the daylight. So the light comes into his life. If you can see each and every day, thank God, it's a special gift. You can read, and also you can read the Bible with me. You can read it in Urdu, in English, in Amharic, or in any language, in German, French. That's up to you, whatever language you have. But it is a translation of the received text, Textus Receptus, and from the 1st century. It's in Greek, and it's exactly has the same meaning. So, while I'm in the world, I'm the light of the world, Jesus said. So he saw the blind man on the way, and he knelt down, and he spat on the ground, and he put his mud on the man's eyes. And then Jesus said, verse 7, go and wash yourself in the pool of Siloam. Siloam means sent. So the man went and washed, and he came home, and he was able to see. He could see again. So his neighbors and everyone asked the questions, is this the same man who couldn't see? And some said, yes, the same man. Others said, no, he only looks like him. But the man who had been blind kept saying, I am the man. Then, how were your eyes opened? They asked him. He replied, the man they called Jesus made some mud and spat on my eyes. He told me to go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed, and I could see again. Where is this man? They asked him. I don't know, he said. Look, this man did not even know who Jesus was, and where he went, he couldn't find him. Now the Pharisees, the Jewish leaders, they brought Jesus, the blind man, to him. The day Jesus made the mud and opened the man's eyes was a Sabbath, it says in verse 14. So the Pharisees also asked him how he was able to see. He put mud on my eyes, the man replied. Then I washed, and now I can see. Again, some of the Pharisees said, Jesus has not come from God. He does not keep the Sabbath day. So if it's a Sabbath day, like today is a Sunday, you're not supposed to work. You can eat and drink, you can do things, but you're not supposed to work. But others said, how can a sinner do such miraculous signs? So the Pharisees did not agree with each other. If you need to go, you can go. It's up to you. Finally, they turned again to the blind man. What do you have to say about him? They asked. It was your eyes that he opened? The man replied, yes, he is a prophet. Now, some person like you are a Muslim, you believe in all the 144,000 prophets. So do we. The 72 prophets are mentioned as stories in the Bible, and about 40 are mentioned by name in the Holy Quran. Now, prophets are those who prophesy. So if somebody has miraculous signs, we as Muslims or Christians or Jews, we would probably, as the people of the book, we would probably say, yes, he is a prophet. Now these people, they said, yes, the man who was healed, he said, okay, Jesus is a prophet. Do you accept Jesus, Hazrat Isa, as a prophet? Let's see what he did. The Jews still did not believe the man had been blind and now could see. The Jews didn't believe. So they sent for his parents. Now we're calling the parents. They should know. Is this your son? They asked. It is the one, yes. The parents says, and we know he was born blind. Okay, but we don't know how he can see now. We don't know this. And we don't know who opened his eyes. Ask him. Ask him himself. He's old enough. He's an adult. He can speak for himself, they said. His parents said this because they were afraid of the Jews. The Jews had already planned that if anyone says that Jesus is the Messiah or the Christ, that he would be put out of the synagogue. He would be excommunicated. And that's why the man's parents said, he is an adult. Ask him yourself. Now let's continue in the story, what they said. Let's look at this now. Again, they called the man who had been born blind to them. Give glory to God. Tell us the truth, they said. We know that this man who healed you is a sinner. So how did they know Jesus was a sinner? Did Jesus sin? Did they see him sinning? I don't think so. They were just jealous. So they replied, I don't know if he is a sinner. The one who was blind before said, I don't know, but I know one thing, I was blind and now I can see. Then they asked him, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He says, I have already told you, but you don't listen. Why don't you ask him yourself? You want to become his disciples too? When they become to attack him, we are Moses' disciples. The man answered, that's really surprising. You don't know where he comes from, yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners. He listens to godly people who do what he wants them to do. Nobody has ever heard anyone opening the eyes of a person born blind. This man had not come from God. He could do nothing. So now the Pharisees again, they opposed and they were asking, when you were born, you were already deep in sin. How dare you talk like that to us? And they threw him out of the synagogue. So they threw out the man who was born blind of the synagogue because he could see. At least he couldn't see the synagogue anymore, but he could see the world. Okay, so Jesus heard that the Pharisees had thrown the man out. Then he found him. So Jesus was looking for this man. Out of the synagogue, Jesus was looking for him. And he asked him the question, do you believe the Son of Man? Who is he, sir? The man asked again, tell me so I can believe in him. Jesus said, you have now seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking with you, right in front of you. Jesus met him. The man said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. How would this man worship as a Jew a person who is a mere man if it was not God himself? Because the Jews were not allowed to worship idols or any human being, but only one God, right? We agree with him. Jesus said then, I have come into this world to judge. I have come so that the blind will see and those who will see become blind. Now I'm asking you, my fellow friend, are you blind or do you see spiritually? Let's see what the Pharisees asked him. What? Are we blind too? They said. Jesus said, if you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin. But since you claim you can see, you remain guilty. What about you, my dear fellow friend? Are you blind or do you see? Jesus says, if you are blind, I can open your eyes, you will see. If you claim yourself to be religious and you can see everything, you know everything about God, you probably be blind because it is your self-righteousness. Jesus came to open the blind, virtually blind people's eyes. He also has come to open your spiritual eyes so that you can see who he really is. What do you think? Let's go and see. Let's go and see who Jesus is. Let's get to know him.